Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dave from runEVrun here in Tomball, Spring area in the beautiful state of Texas. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've probably already talked about a little bit in the past, and that's available electric vehicle charging stations here in this area. As you all know, I've got a 2015 Nissan Leaf, 24 kilowatt battery, and anyway, sometimes people, when I talk to people about my car and other electric vehicles, they always ask me, well, how far can you go? And so of course I have to tell them, well, my top range at its best is 90 miles, and lately seems to have more often than not being about 80 miles, 82 miles. So, I think maybe I'm losing a little bit of my battery capacity. But anyway, but how do I get around? How do I manage to get charged? Well, basically the first thing I do is I charge in my house every day at nighttime. I get off work, I get off from school, whatever. When I get home, oftentimes it's 4 or 5 in the afternoon, I pull in my garage, I plug into my 110 outlet in the garage, and I charge on that. And the last 3, 4, well, really since April is when I started charging. I haven't really noticed any increase in my bill due to charging my car. Of course, the biggest bill is from my AC in the summertime. But the most I think I've seen as far as charging in my house is maybe $35 a month, and compared to what I would have been spending if I'd been driving this vehicle here all the time. This is my 2006 Toyota Tacoma. I'm only using this because I couldn't get to where I am using my electric vehicle, my Leaf, too far. And I actually happen to be up here in Livingston area, Livingston, Texas, and to the best of my knowledge and research, there is no electric vehicle charging stations in this area. I think there's one out in Ona, Alaska. It's out by the lakes here in Livingston Lakes, out in that area in a camping ground. But you got to go into the camping ground to get it, and of course, to get in the camping ground, you got to pay a fee and all that stuff. So that's not really a viable option. So, other than charging at my house, what are some of the stations around my area? Well, closest and the free ones are if I go to Sprouts, which is relatively new, and it's over on Spring, Cypress and 249, about 2 or 3 miles from my house, and there's 2 different chargers there from Volta, and I can charge for free in those chargers there. So that's a good deal right there. So usually I go there and take advantage of it and go into Sprouts and do a little shopping maybe. Not a whole lot because they're pretty expensive. But I do some shopping. Sometimes I go and get a sandwich or 2 and a good healthy drink in Sprouts. And I go outside and enjoy the weather and eat. And so I'll spend an hour there charging for free. The other option is to go down to the Whole Foods, which is on Louetta and Cutton, and there I can sit there and charge for free. And a lot of times I'm the only one there charging. Other times I see Teslas there, and I see Bolts, and I see some hybrid vehicles there charging, and it always presents a nice opportunity to talk to other owners of electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles. I always have good conversations with those people. And of course the same thing, I go there and shop, sit upstairs and study, sit out on the balcony and watch my car get charged, things like that. And see, let's go to another free one. So, well, let's just go out from that area. So if I go out, the next closest one to my house, which is located pretty much near Champion Forest in Spring, Cypress, here in the big town of Spring. If I go over free, Well, let me think about that. Free. The next free ones would be up in the Woodlands. Okay, now I can go to the Woodlands and I can go out, right outside the, it's in between the kids' entrance to Macy's and the adult entrance to Macy's. And there's 2 new Volta chargers there, and you can charge for free. And now that I'm going up to Conroe every day to go to school, on the way back I stop there and spend an hour, sometimes up to 2 hours there just charging for free, and I study and wander around the mall a little bit and, you know, window shop and things like that. Then on the other side of the Woodlands Mall, there's by Dick's sporting goods store, there's 2 more Volta charging stations, and they're free also. So I haven't used those yet, but you know, so far with Volta I haven't had any issues. Okay, I forgot to mention that at the Whole Foods on Cutton Road and Spring and Louetta, Charge Point is the manufacturer of those charging stations. And over at the Sprouts store, yeah, that was Volta charging there. Okay, now, but anyway, so Volta's up there at the mall by Macy's and Dick's Sporting Goods store. Now, if you go across the street into Market Street, where they have the Tesla store and the big old plaza there, and outside, you know, walking and things like that. In the parking garage, there's 2 EV chargers there, and I believe they're Charge Point, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But it's free charging. So, if you live in my neck of the woods here, Whole Foods, Sprouts, you can always go to the Nissan dealers, and they're free. Forgot to say about that. And then up here in the Woodlands, in Market Street, you got free charging. So you can get all over this area with, you know, and not pay a dime really, except for whatever may you charge at your house. Now let's talk about chargers that cost a little bit of money. Now, in this area, if you go to the Walgreens store over on West Road and Beltway 8, they've got EVgo chargers there, Chatamo, and then the level 1, level 2 charging. That costs you, that's like 30 cents a minute. So whenever I've charged, most it's ever cost me is $9.50, I think, and that's at the Walgreens on West Road and Beltway 8. Now, going back up a little closer to my house, if you go over to Cypress Wood Drive in 45, there is in Walgreens there is an EVgo charger, and it's the same rate, you know, 30 cents a minute. So both Walgreens there at the Beltway 8 and West Road and Cypress Wood Drive in 45, their Walgreens has the EVgo chargers. And all of these chargers that I'm mentioning so far, I've never had any problems with. They always do what they say. I can either use my card or I can use my phone app to initiate the charging session. So let's go from 45 and Cypress Wood Drive. Let's take a little jaunt up to, up to Rayford Sawdust Road. Now, when you take the exit for Rayford Sawdust and you make a left and go under the freeway under 45, you'll come up to HEB within a block or so, and HEB's got EVgo charging, and I've always had good luck with them, never had a problem. And then from there you can continue on past that and go over to the Walmart shopping center, which is kind of like head past HEB about a mile, and then you turn left on this other road. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a big intersection. You go into the Walmart shopping there, and they've got Electrify America. Now, I don't know about any other vehicles. I only drive a 2015 Nissan Leaf, and I've never had a problem with any other charging station except for Electrify America. Not to talk bad about Electrify America, But every time, 2 times that I've been there, I've always had problems. The first time, which was several months ago, probably back in the summertime, I went up there, and my plan was to get up to Huntsville and charge up there at the Walmart up there, just to make sure it worked and see how it went. But I never made it up there. But I was on that way when I stopped off at this Walmart on Rayford Sawdust, you know, that complex there. And I pulled in and plugged up to the Chatamo. Now they also got the CCS charger in the same charging structure, but I hooked up to the Chatamo charger, and it wouldn't work. It told me you can't make a connection, can't read your card, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. So I tried several times. I even had, of course, as is typical with Electrify America, damn charging cords are too short. You know, they need to sit there and make them a little longer, because I have to sit there and pull up at an angle so I can get my nose up close to the charging station so that hose will reach my car. That's ridiculous. But anyway, that's another thing. So that was the first time, and after several attempts and checking everything and double checking and triple checking, make sure I was doing everything right, then I finally said, okay, I'm going to call up Electrify America and complain about this and say, hey, what's wrong? So I call them up, and they profusely apologized and said that doesn't normally happen and blah, blah, blah. And finally they tried several tricks, and it wouldn't do anything. It just said, you know, error reading this and error reading that, blah, blah, blah. And they finally said, well, let's put you on that level 1 charger there, and you can charge as long as you want, and it's free. And so since I needed some electrons put in my battery, I said, okay. So I sat there and spent about an hour, 2 hours, I think, charging at level 1 speed, all for free. And then I decided to go back home because I was getting kind of like frustrated with everything, all that stuff, you know. But anyway, that was my first time with Electrify America. And I'd been hearing about how Electrify America was trying to make America, you know, great, and charging structure all over the place. And then the first time I use them, it's a failure. So, fast forward to a couple weeks ago. And I thought, well, I'm going to go back there, and I was doing stuff for school because I'm going to school in Conroe. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go there and check them out, and I'll have to pay, you know, some money probably, and you know, but I'll get charged and I'll have a full charge and all that stuff, so that's all right. So I went over there and I pulled up, same station, same position, plugged in, and the thing said error reading card, or can't make a connection with your vehicle, and blah blah blah. And I said, well, bullshit, you know? What is this? Second time, same issues, same problems. So I thought, well, I'm just going to cut to the chase and call these people up again and ask them what's going on. So I called them up again. And I probably talked to the same person that I talked to the first time last summer. And he profusely apologized for the problems that we were having, and it shouldn't be like that. But let's try a few things. So I went through this whole rigmarole again of him trying to initiate the session from wherever he was located, Arizona, I think, or someplace. But anyway, so we went that whole thing, him initializing, me following his instructions. We tried 3 or 4 different ways. Finally says, I'm going to have to send a technician out there because I don't know what's going on, which is the same answer they told me last summer. Same charging station. So he says, well, tell you what. And he did a good thing, him. He did me right. He says, we'll put you on the level 1 charger. You go spend some time in Walmart, and the charging session will be free. And on top of that, he said to me, the next time you come up there, and you in the same area, and you want to take advantage of the level 1 charger, you can do it for free. Just call us up and tell them, you know, your name and I had some code that I was supposed to have written down, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, he said, yeah, just call us up and mention your name and the station you're at, and that charging session will also be free if you wish to use that. So, of course, I agreed, you know, being the amiable person I am and full of patience and all that. I said, okay. Which makes me wonder if I ever want to go up there again and try for a third time on that CHAdeMO charger. Because there's only one CHAdeMO charger. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 level 3 charging areas. And they're all CCS except for the one CHAdeMO. Makes me wonder. So, but hey, there is some good news about this kind of thing here. Because I just heard about this. I think it was on Transport Evolved with Nikki Gordon Bloomfield. I think she's the one that was talking about it. I'm not 100% certain, but I think she's the one that's talking about it. From anyway, she talked about a lot of people, they go there's the Tesla destination chargers, not the superchargers, the destination chargers. And they've got this hose connection now, cable connection, that goes from CHAdeMO over to a Tesla destination charger adapter. And so you can take your existing charger connection and connect it to the Tesla adapter and then plug that into the Tesla destination charger, and you can charge I can charge my Nissan Leaf with that Tesla charger. It costs about $200 for this connection thing, and as soon as I can, I'm going to get one, because that'd make things a whole lot easier. Because I've been to places where they, you know, like last year when I went that trip to Austin and down to Columbus on I-10 and Katy Mills Mall route, one place only had Tesla chargers, and if I'd had this little cable connection, I could have charged right there, probably for free. But anyway, I don't know that. But anyway, so think about that. Look it up. Nikki Gordon Bloomfield from Transport Evolved talked about it just like within last month, I think it was. So anyway, it's a good thing right there. But anyway, so back to charging stations. The next one that I know about is going farther north is in there's nothing in Conroe itself that I can find. No level 1, no level 2 or 3 charging stations like the ones I've been talking about. You may find some outlets like in a hotel or motel or something, or the Nissan dealer. There's a Nissan dealer up there in Conroe, and so they have free EV chargings. I don't know if you can get away with not being having a Nissan car, but you can always give it a try. I went down to AutoNation one time. Last summer I was coming back from Galveston, and I really needed some electrons, and so I pulled into AutoNation and used their level 1, level 2 charger and charged up. So that was a pretty good thing. So there are places like that, but in Conroe there really isn't any other than Nissan dealership and maybe some of the dealerships. There's no, stores that have charging stations, nothing like that. None of the shopping centers have them. If they do have them, they're not listed on PlugShare yet, or any of the other charging station websites. So, if you go up north to Huntsville has a CCS charger up there, I believe. And they also have CHAdeMO charging up there at the Walmart off of 45 there in Huntsville. So you can go up to Huntsville and charge your car up there, and then while you're waiting to have your car charged, you can always go shop in Walmart, or, you know, better people shop for better stuff. Or you can go take a tour of the Texas prison system there in Huntsville. They got the Walls unit, got the, I think it's called Go-Re unit. There are a couple other units up there in the Huntsville area, you know, where some of Texas' finest are inhabiting the area, you know. But anyway, that's as far as north as I've ever been. I've never actually charged that particular station, but everything I've seen on PlugShare and anything else, it's supposed to be in good operating condition and works well. And there was one other area that I forgot to mention. Okay, so if you live in the Tomball, Magnolia area, and I kind of started living in the Tomball area, you can go out there to the little town of Egypt on 1488, and it's the Huffsmith-Corville Road that turned into some number, 1788 or 1778 or something, I forget. Anyway, it goes up there, and you go into the near the Ross store, and there are EVgo chargers there. And now there's 1, 2, 3, level 3, level 2 or level 3. I think it's level 2 level 2 charging outlets there, and you can charge there. The only negative I can say about that place is both times, 2 out of the 3 times that I've used that charging station, or maybe it's 2 out of 2, one of them always seems to be having technical issues, and, you know, like, it's beeping and says error code such and such, and, you know, so you can't use that. And of course, the first time I used it is one of the first times I ever started using, you know, charging stations out in the wilds, and I didn't really understand a lot of stuff, and so I ended up calling them up, and they had to, and of course I used the charging station next to it, but I called up EVgo to let them know that one of their units had an issue. And then, like a month ago, when I was out there, where my wife was trying to dress for less at Ross, one of the stations had an issue there also. And so, you know, I used the other one and had no problems. But I called the people up and said, hey, you got an issue out here. And they thanked me for letting them know about that. So anyway, that's kind of like my general review of available free charging and chargers that cost you money, a little bit, you know, but it's all worth it. You're helping when you buy an electric car and you go to these chargers, you're helping save America. You're helping save the world for your kids and their kids and grandkids and all that stuff. So, as usual, I'd like to encourage all of you to get rid of your ICE vehicles. You can see I'm in my Toyota Tacoma here. 6-cylinder, uses gas, and oil, and everything else. But my 2015 Nissan Leaf trim level S won't make it up here and back. And I've talked to these people here about, you know, future possibilities of. They actually have a 110 outlet here, but they seem to not want to let me use it. But they said once they become we're actually here at the gaming resort where my wife is investing her money in our future, which I haven't seen any gains yet, but that's another story. But they say that once they become a fully fledged casino, then the plans are to put some kind of charging station here for electric vehicles. Hopefully it's not just for a Tesla. But if it is, you can always spend $200 and get that cable connection to plug your Chatamo into a Tesla CCS charger. That's the good news. So, hope you all got something out of this video. Hope you learned something, and hope you put some idea in you got an idea in your head about getting an electric vehicle one of these days. There's all kinds of electric vehicles out there, and I've made a video about them. And as the months roll by, even more and more electric vehicles are becoming available, especially now that it's 2020. And of course, in my educated, humble manner and all that BS, the best car for you to get is the Tesla. Base model is $35,000. And if you look at a lot of your ICE machines, you know, the internal combustion engine, they're all around $35,000 too. So why spend $35,000 on a car that's going to cost you a lot more money to maintain than if you were to spend $35,000 and buy a car that's not really going to cost you maintenance at all? Because electric vehicles are virtually maintenance free. So, and one last this is not really about charging stations, but it's, you know, about electric vehicles. I was rewatching this video from Transport Evolved with Nikki Gordon Bloomfield, and she was talking about, you know, is it worth it to buy an old, used Nissan Leaf, you know, 2011, 2012, 2013, whatever, and then upgrade it with a brand new battery pack? And long story short is, it is. Because, you know, you get a brand new battery pack, which has, you know, 24 kilowatt, and you get the same energy capacity and density as you had when you bought the car brand new. You're just buying an older body with a brand new battery pack. That's like, kind of like, you know, buy an ice machine and get a brand new engine. Because you got a brand new engine. That's kind of like the heart of your body. Without an engine, you can't go anywhere. So without batteries on an electric vehicle, you can't go anywhere. Everything else is going to last forever, just about, on an electric vehicle. So, hope you all enjoyed my video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you thought it sucked, give me a thumbs down. Either way, I'm going to continue on talking about electric vehicles and climate change and renewable energy and all that good stuff. So, just remember, run, EV, run. Bye.